Let me ask you something. That game you bought last year, do you actually own it? Not the disc, not the case, the actual game. Can you play it whenever you want, however you want, for as long as you want? Because the answer might not be what you think. Let's start with The Crew. You paid for it, you downloaded it, it was in your library. Then Ubisoft shut down the servers, and just like that, gone. Delisted from the store, actually removed from your account. A game you bought that you can no longer play. And here's the part that should make your blood boil. Ubisoft didn't offer refunds, they didn't offer a patch to make it playable offline, they just turned it off. This wasn't a glitch. This wasn't an accident. This is what the fine print you never read actually says. You didn't buy the game, you bought a license to access it. And they can revoke that license whenever they want. And it's not just games either. As of September 1st, 2026, PlayStation is deleting 551 movies from people's libraries. Movies they paid for. Terminator 2, Total Recall. Shit, they even got me for my Naruto game at one point. And look, to put this in perspective, imagine a corporation walking into your house, walking right up to your bookshelf, and just taking your physical copy of Harry Potter or 1984 right off the shelf. You would call the cops. You would call it theft. But when they do the same exact thing to a digital library you spent hundreds of dollars on, they call it updating their terms of service. If I paid for something, it should be there. Period. The war on physical games is officially starting because PlayStation announced that after January 1st, 2028, they will no longer make discs. Every single new game releasing on PlayStation after that date will be a digital only. They are actively taking away your option to own the media. And PlayStation just showed you exactly why competition matters. Xbox is down right now. If PlayStation didn't hold 75% of the gaming population, they wouldn't be able to make such rash decisions so fast. They would have to wait and see how the competition handles physical media before taking a massive risk. But when you dominate the market, you don't have to care about the backlash. You just force the change. This is exactly why physical media matters. And here's an example most people don't know about. There's a movie called Hush that was released exclusively on Netflix. The person who made it had to literally fight to get it released on DVD and had to fight to get it released on other platforms. Think about that. A creator fighting for the right for people to actually own their own work. Because once it's locked inside a streaming platform, the platform controls whether you ever see it again. In Japan, this isn't even a debate. Physical media is still thriving over there. People still go and buy it because they understand something that we've slowly forgotten. If you can't hold it, you might not actually own it. Now here's something I want you to know because most creators aren't talking about this. California just passed a law, AB 2426, that makes it illegal for digital storefronts to use words like buy or purchase without clearly telling you that what you're actually getting is a revocable license, not real ownership. Companies that don't comply face false advertising fines, but the publishers are fighting back. Assembly Bill 1921, the Protect Our Games Act, was designed to stop companies from shutting down games by forcing them to provide offline patches or refunds. But it just failed to pass the state of California Senate committee. Why? They even sat in a government hearing and argued that community-run private servers for games like Minecraft are illegal and amount to piracy. In Europe though, the Stop Killing Games movement officially closed with roughly 1.5 million signatures. 45 members of the European Parliament have signed an inquiry calling for legislation. This is a real movement with real momentum. The Crew situation specifically was cited by lawmakers as proof that we needed stronger protections. Your outrage actually moved the needle. And if you want to understand why this keeps happening, you need to understand who's actually making these decisions. It's not always the developers. The people who actually made the game you love, they often don't control what happens to it. That power sits with the publisher, the parent company, the people holding the rights. That's when the original creators want to keep a game alive, they sometimes can't because they don't own it. And that's the problem that goes way deeper than just server shutdowns. So back to the original question, do you actually own what you paid for? The honest answer is probably not. Not fully, not in the way you assume. But here's what I do know. The fact that California passed a law about this, the fact that 1.5 million people signed a petition in Europe, the fact that the Crew situation made it into a government hearing, that tells you something. Pushback works. Supporting physical media works. Talking about this stuff works. The question is whether enough of us care about it before it gets worse. But yeah, I'm out, bro.